welcome to another edition of the District Dish. We've been doing these, and it's been great for me to get a chance to chat with some of our scholars. But today, I am honored to hear the perspective of some of our esteemed parent ambassadors. As a matter of fact, this was the idea of one of our parent ambassadors, Miss Teresa, better known as Beyonce. But she gave this idea while we were doing this at John Marshall with our scholars and said, hey, why don't we get the parent voice in here? So I'm happy to be joined today with Teresa, Jonathan, and Laura as we are bringing to you another edition of the District Dish. So with that, we'll go on ahead and let each of you introduce yourselves. Let us know, who you are, where your scholar goes to school.
All right. My name is Teresa Green. I'm a parent ambassador at John Marshall School of Engineering. I have a junior there who's the varsity of the basketball team. I also have a son, Jackson. He goes to Tremont, and he'll be going into the first grade.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Salazar. I'm the parent ambassador at Louisa May Alcott, and I have twin boys in the second grade.
Hi, my name's Laura Lindsay. I'm the parent ambassador at Bard, where I have two children, a 9th grader, Jared, a 10th grader, Kayla. My oldest, Gavin, is graduating from MC Squared, and my youngest will be starting at William Cullen Bryant in the fall, Nicholas.
Oh, wow. Well, with that, let's just kick it into the first question, and, this will be a mixture of just some, I guess formal questions about the district, but then also a chance to know you and for you guys to get a chance to know me. But I'll start with the question of just why did each of you want to become a parent ambassador, and tell me what you do as a parent ambassador at our schools.
Well, I'm a parent ambassador at Marshall. I wanted to first attend my son, Jackson, who's the youngest, to be more involved with the fun stuff. But I was picked to be the parent ambassador at John Marshall, which I realized I was needed there because my teenager was experiencing a lot of things I had no idea. But being within the school, I can see what he goes through. I kind of bridge the gap between the parents and the staff there, because sometimes parents could be a little hesitant to ask questions or go into the schools, and having a familiar face, it makes it more easy for them. So.
Yeah, well, I wanted to become a parent ambassador because my kids are special needs. So obviously before I had a full-time job, and my full-time job now is to be a dad. I decided to switch roles and, get really involved with the school and, make sure I'm there for my kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like COVID kind of effectively knocked out our communication between the parents and the schools. So to kind of rebuild that bridge, and Bard kids graduate from Bard with a 2-year associate's degree. So the kids are very independent, they're driven, and so the parents maybe not as much feel the need to be involved, but knowing that their voice is important and that we have a community together so that if we need to step up and help out, that we have those relationships formed is important.
Yeah, and from what I know, our parent ambassadors are just really involved in the school. You're part of that fabric. I know, Laura, we had talked earlier in the year, and your students were advocating for you, and just really showing how important each of you are in the school and part of the family atmosphere. So
Obviously, are you a parent?
The way I say it, I have about 37,000 students. So I'm the father of many. But I know the hard work. Well, I don't know the hard work is balancing both being an actual parent and also doing the work and working in the school. So my hat is off to you. And our families are the lifeblood of our school system. And so when we can hear that voice from our parents and that advocacy from our parents, it just it makes our work much more meaningful. So thank you for the work you guys do.
All right.
So, in my opinion, I know the work that you guys are doing, and it's some of the most important work. And I just want to know what impact you think you're having as parent ambassadors in the system, and the work that we could even be doing more to really utilize our parent ambassadors to really have an impact on the system.
I think it's our voices being heard, as parents it's just awesome to at least be able to sit here and have the opportunity to speak to you and hopefully, a lot of our ideas as parents would take effect in the school system and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's super important for me, especially with my kids and stuff, which in the system have come so far. So far, if you were to meet them, you'll see. You would see.
I think it's we're a part of filling in the village too. When other parents are at work, when they see a familiar face, there's another parent supporting them as well. I think it makes the kids feel better. And then we're actually in the school, so we hear a lot of things that are going on where we can get back to the parents and kind of, remind them of the different events and stuff that they have going on. So I think we play a big part in that.
Yeah.
Our teachers have a lot, so I think even going in from that standpoint and saying, how can I help? They look on their face like, okay, someone's here to help. And from the parent side, I feel like a lot of times parents can tend to hear from us only, not from us, but from the school when things go wrong, but to be doing things like student shout-outs, going to a teacher, saying, hey, who's done a great job? Who can I call? So that when the parents hear from us, sometimes it's just, hey, they're doing a great job. Their teacher wanted me to call and let you know. They're doing things that the teachers might not have time to do, but that are happening, and we can be that positive communication between the parents and the teachers and kind of building that bridge in a positive way.
I grew relationships with the parents every day, and I like to introduce myself and let them know that their kids are in good hands every time that they drop them off. But the relationships that I've made with the staff goes so far, especially my kid's teacher, that she knows no matter what, I got her back, and I'm gonna be there not only for her, for any teacher there. And when one day I was walking down the hall and one of the teachers came up to me and gave me a hug, and they were like, you don't know how much we appreciate you right here. So that's a great part about it.
But I would love to have the opportunity to be in on some of the hiring processes for even coaches. You know how you were hired, there were a committee of a parent, a staff member, principals. I think that we can play a part in who we want to have in our schools as far as coaching or maybe new hires with administration. If we had that opportunity to be a part of that, I think it would be a good thing.
Yeah, when I was in Chicago public schools as a principal, we had local school councils, which were it was almost like a PTA, but in Chicago they actually do the principal selection. They approve the budget at the school, and that's something the way how the city of Chicago is set up. But there are ways we can enact the parent voice even more. And, even just with talking with parent ambassadors this year, there were so many ideas I got from you guys on ways we can be utilizing our parents even more, which is one of the reasons why we're working hard to get this parent community canvassing event off. We wanted to do it this year, and we're hoping to do it next year, because our parents can really help us as we're trying to achieve our goals, and also just spread the word. This year's been challenging with budget cuts that we've had to do, but we've been able to maintain and do those budget cuts while also we just passed our teachers contract, which I'm so excited because the thing you guys advocated for to get the grade book and the parent portal open, we got that in the contract. So that is going to be rolled out where parents can actually see real time what is happening with their kids in their grade book on an ongoing basis. That came from you guys. And also seeing some of our early results coming in, there's some subjects where we are ahead from where we were last year, and a lot of that work is due to the advocacy that you guys have done. So just appreciate you.
When since Cleveland is a city, obviously Dayton and Chicago, how they run their school districts. Yeah. Do you get a lot of ideas? Have you brought a lot of ideas from Chicago over here?
All the time. We all face similar issues. Here in Ohio, we have what's called the Ohio 8, so the pretty much the larger systems, the urban systems. We talk all the time. We're on a text thread together. Actually, this morning we're on a text thread because we're all dealing with similar things. Budget cuts, some of the challenges around school safety, and it's just around like how can we borrow those ideas. Some of the things they learn from us and they take away, some things I learn from them and we take away, and so it's just all about what we can learn to make it better. And so when you guys have ideas as parents, it really pushes us. And so I'm glad that we have our parent ambassadors. We could do more work even with our parent academies just to show like what is happening within the system, but it really helps. So.
Okay. Do you have any ideas for ways to build positive relationships between families in our schools?
Yeah. So one of the biggest things coming up on almost finishing up my first year, the biggest lesson that I've learned is relationships are key. You can have all the strategies and those things, the best practices you're bringing in, but if you don't have that relationship, especially when you're coming in, and I've been in the system before, but I wasn't here before, so really building those one-on-one relationships go a long way. And that's something heading into next year I want to do more. I want to do more of these informal things. And it's hard because the schedule is nonstop. There's so much work to do and there's challenges, but I found that if you skip over the relationship part, it's going to make doing the work that much harder. Because we have tough decisions to make. We've made some tough decisions this year. We have some tough decisions ahead of us. And if you're not doing that listening, the ongoing listening and learning, which I've also found, like listening and learning, it's not a moment. I've been saying now, it's not a moment. It is a way of leading. And so it needs to be that ongoing practice of just getting face to face with people, hearing what we can be doing, hearing the ideas, and that's something I want to be able to do, and also just let families know where we can take ideas and implement, we will. Not always will we be able to, but I think just having that openness goes a long way, and so that's something that's helped me in this year, but I want to do even more heading into next year.
I feel like people can tell when someone's listening to understand and versus listening to just respond. And you do a very good job, like when we see you interacting, and I think that resonates with our families.
Thanks so much. That goes to the next question really around communications, because one of the things we've heard this year is we can improve our communications. It's actually one of our priorities is engaging our communities. And we've rolled out Let's Talk this year, which is our platform to get kind of ongoing feedback on a rolling basis. But I know we could do better. I hear stories all the time where families are like, I call a number and I don't get a response, or I'm calling this person and it's not routing to you, or we don't get it. And so we know we have some work to do in communications, and just want to know like what ideas you guys have or things we could be doing better in that regard.
I think a call I get a lot is when parents are getting their attendance call. They know their kid's in the building. They get the attendance call anyway, and especially with us maybe getting rid of the cell phones in the school, a way to make sure that parents just aren't unnecessarily scared. They know they dropped their kid off. They know their kid walked in. They're like, why did I get that call? So it happens a lot. It's happened to me twice this year with my kids in the building. We walked in together, and so I will text them. I'll be like, hey, where are you? So we know like how to close this gap. And my daughter was testing at the time. It was like a reason I understood, but if I wasn't there, if they were walkers, I would be terrified for no reason.
Like, where's my kid? Yeah.
So I feel like that is something that we need to work, especially if we're going to say, hey, when your kids walk in the building, they can't call or text you. Well, then we need to make sure they're not getting scared unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So a way to close that, because I think it does happen a lot, and we can fix it.
That's good.
A lot of that, I also think it has to do with the relationship you have with the school. And those are automated calls.
Yeah.
You can't really, I guess it would have to be, I got personal numbers to a lot of the staff. I text them regularly to make sure everything is all good, and maybe there's a connection there, to make sure that you have a good relationship with the secretary, with a lot of the teachers, especially your kids' teachers, the security guard up front, and
I think with the communication, like if there was a problem that arose, because there is an issue with you calling down to 1111 on Superior, and then, they give us the excuse, there's only 2 people that work throughout the whole district. That's kind of frustrating to a parent that has an issue and there's no one getting back to them about what's going on, giving a solution. So that part needs to improve.
That's helpful. Yeah, I hear a lot about that with our ombuds and just even work that we can do there, because there's a lot of issues. We were just seeing this because we're, we have now we have our public comment process where we can actually see the comments that are coming in, and some of the comments that are coming through. My first question is just like, wow, did they try to get this troubleshoot before needing to come to board meetings?
Right.
And for some families, they feel like, well, if I need to get my voice heard, like this is the way to do it,
Right.
And so that just lets us know we have to tighten that up. Which, I mean, we don't mind, people coming to board meetings, but you shouldn't have to feel like you have to come to a board meeting to, have a standard issue or, talk to something that you could have routed through the principal or through a network leader. And so, these are areas we're trying to work on. So I know that, we've been asking a lot of the district types of questions. Well, with the last few that we have, a question I have for you guys, two-part, what are your plans during the summer? And then what are some fun things you guys like to do just to unwind, de-stress?
Go ahead, Teresa.
Well, I love.
Beyonce.
Right. I sing background with Beyonce sometimes. But when I'm not doing that, I do karaoke on Wednesdays.
Okay,
Yeah, I love
okay.
karaoke and just singing.
Oh, we may have to bring that to a parent ambassador meeting. Yeah.
Right. I have to work on the district dish song, the jingle.
Okay.
So I'll get back with you. Okay.
Yeah.
But I love to do that, and I'm into crafts and just being with my family. So for the summer, though, our contract is over, I think on the 29th. So, I just have to figure out what I'm going to do to supplement the income. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and trying to figure out camps, because I know everybody doesn't have the opportunity to go to camp this year. So I have to just figure out what I'm going to do with my youngest son. So.
I'm a bowler. I love to bowl.
I used to be on a bowling league. I have a ball.
Oh.
So we may need to go. But you know what? Okay, so here's the thing. By having a ball, and I used to be on a league, when I go bowling just out with, friends, they're always like, oh, he's about to kill us. He's going to do great.
Yeah.
And I swear every time, especially if I've been on a date and I do that,
Man.
my date every time, the first game, always out bowls me. And they are not a bowler. So, but we'll have to do that. We're good.
I actually used to be a bowling instructor.
Oh,
so,
okay.
No.
So we got to do this. We got to get this going,
Sure.
right? Yeah.
For sure. I'll let you know.
And Kids Bowl Free just started last week at Roll House in Parma. That's one of the programs we do. If you buy, what we do is we buy everybody bowling shoes at the beginning of the season, and then Kids Bowl Free, they can do 2 free games Monday through Friday between noon and 5 every day, whenever you want to go. So it's a great, they get you with the shoes. So we buy our own shoes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you go in and it's literally free. We had the family pass on for you can get a deal and get it for $26, and 4 other people can bowl with the kids all summer.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we do Kids Bowl Free, and with my oldest going off to college in the fall, I'm just trying to be really intentional. We got the Cedar Point passes about doing something every weekend as a family, because I feel like days are long, but months and years fly. So I just want to make sure that we're spending as much time doing those family things this summer, and then like you said, kind of figuring out how to get us through financially until our contracts start back up. So I said we should get the parent ambassadors together for just the parent ambassadors to kind of talk and collaborate, because we all have the same kind of issue. I'm sure we can figure it out. But yeah, taking advantage of the programs like Kids Bowl Free, I think a lot of our families could. And even getting the kids out of the heat and doing something active in the summer. But yeah, anything family friendly like that.
Yes.
Day trips are great.
Yeah.
That's part of the things that we do to de-stress.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, yeah. So, well, this summer, I work throughout the summer. Usually for the summertime is a busy time on the administrative side, because we have to set up everything for the start of the school year. So it'll be a busy summer. But I am planning on doing, we have a family vacation plan. So every year, we do a family vacation, and so I'm looking forward to that. That's around the 4th of July. And then, I don't know, I'm trying to be more intentional heading into next year about spaces where I can unwind throughout the year, because it is really stressful. It is always going, and so you guys are bringing up really many different suggestions, or even just how I can connect with some of my old passions that I used to do, like bowling, because I haven't been bowling since I've been here. I think those things will help. Yeah. You know, I know we're at our time, but this has been great. We're gonna have to have more of our parents on doing this, and I just really appreciate each of the work that you guys are doing, you know, in the system. But also, you know, your suggestions of how to make the system better, and also your suggestions you guys gave just for me to
of course.
enjoy the city and enjoy the town.
You're still getting to know our city. We need to make sure you know where to go and what to do.
Yeah. Well, I truly appreciate it. So that wraps up our edition of the District Dish this time, where we're getting more stories, one dish at a time. Just truly appreciate Teresa, Jonathan, and Laura for your work, and we'll catch you next time at another school, another venue. We look forward to it. Take care.